Okay, so what are the differences between feelings and emotions, and how does someone know which one to actually go and follow?
Great question. You know, feelings and emotions. I grew up always saying, trust your feelings, as people walk around, they don't come and say, hey, how you thinking today? No, they say, how you feeling today? So even though as strong as the mind is, and it tends to be the dominant part of at least that aspect of us, emotions really rule the day. The feelings that we have in our body really rule the day. You know, people do things usually when they feel like it or don't feel like it. Here's the problem. Most people don't know the difference between feelings and emotions, and they are different. And I'd like to explain that to you, at least from my take of it. The other thing is, just because you know the difference, the biggest problem we have and why there's so much suffering in the world, one of the main reasons, is we misinterpret our emotions and our feelings. They are communications to us. And the us that I'm talking about is your spirit, your soul, whatever you want to call that awareness, your consciousness of who you are that ultimately makes the decisions of your life force. Not the ego, which is that little voice that lives in your head, which is just the vocal box of the mind. So let's just jump into it. Everybody's ever seen a GPS system. What's the purpose of a GPS in your car? To navigate yourself from point A to point B. It talks to you, and some of you, like mine, it'll literally say turn right, turn left, your destination is on the right in 200 feet. Well, in a way, there is another GPS system that's way older than this one that you were born with. It's what I call the EGS. It's the emotional guidance system. Now, let's go back a couple steps. The first thing you need to know is what is a feeling, what is an emotion? Feelings are felt in the body. You are made of energy. Everything is energy. This is energy, all right? When I hear that sound, you're hearing that sound is coming into the mic, going through all of these electrons, which is energy, coming out the other side. You're hearing this noise. It's going into your brain. You're interpreting it through the process of learning in your brain, and you're hearing this message. It's all energy. We all energy. So are the feelings in your body. If you go over to pinch yourself, you pinch this here, this is a feeling, an external stimulus to my skin. The energy goes up to the brain, records it, and you go, ouch, or you move away from the pain. Okay, there's good feelings, there's bad feelings. Feelings are just the physical sensation in the now that's stimulating you from the outside or from the inside if you've got a hangover or upset stomach. Those are just feelings with no judgment. Now let's jump to emotions, all right? I'd like you to first take a look, and you'll see in the screen in a second, the letter E in science equals energy. It's a symbol for energy. And energy in motion is really what you are. Now, if you take a look at energy in motion and you get rid of the equal sign, it's emotion. It's literally energy in the body that's in motion, that's traveling all the time. What's the difference between an emotion and a feeling? You feel emotions. The feelings are feelings. However, what an emotion is, it's the body's response, not to an outside stimuli, not to an inside stimuli, like an upset stomach, but it's the response to the little pictures in your head. Let me say that again. It's the body's reaction to what you are imagining and seeing in the little movie house in your head. How many of you out there have ever created something in the future to worry about, and literally you're driving in the car, whistling Dixie 1 minute, then all of a sudden you create this picture in your head of an argument or a potential argument or whatever uncomfortable circumstance that you might have experienced in the past, and your whole body starts to feel terrible, or what I call contracted. Now, if that's the case, that's a good example of an emotion. Yes, you feel that emotion, but there's really nothing going on. You're just driving in the car the same way you were 30 seconds ago. But now the only thing that's changed is you've just created a horror movie in your head that your body now is responding to with contraction, and it could be painful. We call it worry, we call it whatever. Here's the difference, and here's where the insanity comes in, is that you don't know the difference between a real tiger that's in the car with you, and that's feelings, and you feel this adrenaline, and you want to get out of the car as fast as you can. That's a natural response to a threat. That's a feeling. Or the make-believe tiger that's in the car, that's just a picture in your head. And here's the problem, is the body doesn't know the difference. It sees the picture in your head and it thinks it's real. So the body responds. And that is why your body contracts or feels pain or suffering or depression, or you have to go take drugs or alcohol or drown it in something to disguise the pain, because it's not so easy for that tiger to get away, or even more so for you to get away from that tiger, because it follows you wherever your head is. So that's the difference, is that the body's response to the pictures in your head is an emotion. Now that distinction is key, because we're going to go through a couple steps that at least helps me through my day so that you know the difference. Like I said a little while ago, the big problem is that people have a difficult time interpreting the difference. So it's like you've got the right stimuli, but you got the wrong interpretation. The oven is broke and you're trying to fix it by working on the garbage disposal. It's never going to work. You can't drive the car putting your hand on the rear view mirror. It's not going to work. You've got to get it on the steering wheel. So I'm going to try to help you get it on the steering wheel so you know the difference. You've been given a gift to feel. You've been given the EGS system, the emotional guidance system, which was intended to navigate you through life. But if you got the wrong interpretation, can you imagine that the GPS system saying, oh, turn right, and it was based on fear, it was based on the ups and downs of approval, it would be giving you flippant instructions all day long. You'd never get to the right destination. You'd be really lucky to get there alive. Well, it's the same way with the EGS system. If you've got the wrong interpretation, you're going to have the wrong results and you're going to take the wrong actions. Case in point, have you ever been upset, so upset you've lost your temper and yelled at someone you love? Whether it's the children or the dog or your significant other or your boss, it doesn't really matter. And that's because what's happened is that the feeling was associated with the thoughts in the head, and there was no time between the time you take the stimulus till you did the reaction. It's really important to be able to take that moment, and they say count to 10 before you take the response, so that it gives you an opportunity in that lag, it gives you an opportunity to assess, is this the proper navigation? Is this the proper, am I reading the emotional guidance system appropriately?